Hello, I'm Marion, Ginopolis, Superintendent of Lake Orion Community Schools, and I'm bringing to you the November edition of Inside the Dragons. This session is really going to have a lot of excellent things for you to view. The first one is a program that's at Oakview Middle School, and it's the web program. Has nothing to do with technology. It means where everyone belongs. It's an outstanding program that all of our students are involved in, and where the 8th grade students are mentoring 6th graders, so I'm sure you'll enjoy that. And at Carpenter Elementary, you're going to have the opportunity to go on a sensory walk with students. If you want to know what a sensory walk is, make sure that you watch this show. And then Halloween was a festive day at all of our buildings this year, as it always is, and we'll have the opportunity in this clips to see many of the things that our students are doing. At the high school, you'll see the high school students, the Thespian Club, practicing and rehearsing for their play, which is November the 15th through the 18th, and it's the Crucible. It's another outstanding performance by our students. Please don't miss it. And one other exciting opportunity that our students have had is our marching band performed at Ford Field. It was an outstanding performance, as usual, by our band. And then finally, we'll do a little bit of a recap on the successful bond that occurred on November the 6th. We are most appreciative of our community for supporting the bond, and we're very excited about things to come.
One of the biggest leaps in a student's education is the jump from elementary to middle school. There are many changes during the middle school years, and leaving the comfort of a smaller elementary school can intimidate some students. At Oakview Middle School this year, the staff is trying to change that. It began when the administration decided to implement a new mentoring program called WEB, stands for Where Everybody Belongs. The 23-year-old program has now reached nearly 1,800 schools nationally.
Mr. Larson and I have researched this program actually for a couple years, and our pinching point really was the money to be able to train somebody to do it. So we sort of utilized some funds that we had and were able to send Mrs. Comp to get trained after we talked to some schools that had the web already incorporated and about the aspects that it brought to school, not only the mentoring pieces but also the leadership pieces. Oh, our 6th graders, I mean, it's a great group anyways, but our 6th graders seem to just fit in like automatically into the school. I think their anxiety levels are decreased, and they really seem to feel like Oakview's home to them. On the other end, though, I see this group of 8th graders really taking on a leadership role with not only the 6th graders, but also with the entire school body.
It's designed to ease the adjustment of 6th graders to middle school. They are mentored by willing 8th graders, teaching leadership lessons at the same time. It began last spring when Principal Sarah Manzo and Assistant Principal Jason Larson drew a few teachers in to get trained in the program. That continued, peaking with that loud assembly on the first day in the gym, and now becoming a regular part of each week.
This is Manzo, and Mr. Larson came to us with this idea back in April, I think, maybe March, and wanted to bring this to our school. And they really wanted to start it soon because we had an awesome group of 7th graders, and they knew that they would make really great 8th grade web leaders, and they do.
Absolutely. There's been a lot of training. So they had a couple days over the summer that they had to come into school and be trained on how to be good leaders and how to work with the 6th graders. And just learn how to do the different activities, but also how to encourage them to talk if they were a little too shy, and just how to encourage each other to even talk. Beyond that, we do lessons with the kids in class as well, just teaching them different leadership qualities and trying to help improve their skills as well.
The 8th grade students were so encouraged by the interactions that they wanted to spend their own time outside of school trying to connect with their mentees. That showed just before Halloween when the 8th graders spent an afternoon decorating the 6th grade hallway to throw a party for the younger students the next day.
We're taking in that like we can help the 6th graders into the transition to middle school, because I know it was hard for me coming into like this new like big building with all these new kids that I don't know. It was really overwhelming.
Yeah, I also think that like it really like makes them welcomed and like happy and they belong here.
We spent 2 days, it was Tuesday and Thursday in the summer, like I believe it was the last 2 weeks of summer, that we were being trained on how to have good behavior, how to be kind. We also were learning new games that we could play with the 6th graders on Web Wednesday.
The program is just building roots, but already it is impacting Oakview in a positive way. Social media has challenges, but it also is loaded with benefits. Great teachers are always looking for new and creative ideas to help their students, and that is a constant presence at Carpenter Elementary. A few Carpenter staff members saw the idea of sensory walks on the social media giant and decided it would work in their building with some modifications. So the teachers approached Principal Adam Weldon and asked if it was feasible.
I trust my staff a lot. They put a lot of time and thought into ideas that they bring to the table. And from a professional standpoint, I value their opinions and I value their input quite a bit. And they know that I have an open door and an open mind with that. So when they bring something like this, it's a look at how is it going to benefit the students, how is it going to benefit the school, what will be its reach, potential reach, etc. And then you look at the cost of it as well. You know, in this instance, Mrs. Greening, Mrs. Sims, Mrs. Wiegand, they did all of their research. They set me up perfectly, kept it very cost effective, but the overall reach of our students that something like a sensory walk can bring, it's beneficial to all 500 students that we have in the building, potentially. So it's something that I value in my staff because they care a lot about all of their students. They're constantly looking for new and innovative ways to be able to reach them, to be able to support them, and that's part of what makes Carpenter so great.
The walk accomplishes different goals with different students, as each one benefits differently. For some students, it's an opportunity to calm down and focus, centering themselves.
I was actually really excited because when I was going to go fill my water bottle up from class, I saw these stepping stones and looked at them and was like, whoa, what happened here?
The teachers took a portion of the main hallway and tried to imagine how it would work in their building. The challenge was that most of the examples they saw online were on tile floors, and Carpenter was carpeted. So they found some different materials and made it happen. The combination of Beth Sims, Christy Wiegand, and Karen Greening are the force behind the fabulous addition.
We have students who have sensory processing issues, some attention issues, and we have students from trauma. We've just done a PD on trauma-informed schools, and Mrs. Sims did a PD on brain gym, and so we realized the necessity for purposeful movement, and we started researching sensory walks. We talked to our OT and PTs in the district in Lake Orion, and a sensory path is purposeful movement set up in a structured way to help give input both calming and energetic, to help students' minds kind of calm and be ready for learning. So we wanted to bring that to Carpenter, and we have one in our main hallway, and then we have one in our kindergarten 4th grade hallway to give students some purposeful movement. And we also talked about the fact that after 20 minutes we know that our bodies get sedentary and we need to be up and moving to try and kind of calm our minds so that we can have better cognition.
Everyone's very excited. This was a bit of a surprise installation. The staff and the students were unaware that it was going to be happening. So it's kind of a, if we build it, they will come situation where now that we have it, we're brainstorming different ways that it's going to be able to be utilized in our building. So we're very excited with some of the opportunities that staff has suggested on how we're going to be able to use this and incorporate it into our school day.
Carpenter does not have much free space. But with some creativity, a little gesture goes a long way. Halloween is one of the most enjoyable days of the year in Lake Orion Community Schools, and not just because of the sugar rush. Though it's only a half day for the elementary and middle school students, it's an opportunity for the students to express themselves. The costumes ranged from unicorns to witches to superheroes and everything in between. Rumor has it that some of the administrators even dressed up for the day. One of the unique experiences in LOCS is the connection between the schools and the community, and Halloween is a wonderful chance to show that. Two of the LOCS elementary schools visited senior citizens in the area on Halloween, bringing their own joy to other community members who are years past their own trick-or-treating. The Stadium Drive students paraded through the Beacon Square facility on Scripps Road. The Blanche Sims students continued the long tradition of visiting the residents at the McLaren facility next to their school, where the residents handed them candy as they paraded through. Both visits were only part of the shortened day for the students, but they brought many smiles, sharing their joy. The fall play at Lake Orion High School is taking a historical turn this year. The Crucible by Arthur Miller takes on the Salem witch trials of the late 17th century. After preparing through much of the school year, the curtain was scheduled to raise on November 15th and run through November 17th with shows at 7 p.m. and a matinee on November 18th. Students and director Jonathan Kind ironed out the details in the final weeks. Assistant director Megan McGraw was enthused about how the show came together.
It's going really well. We're all getting really excited for the show, and right now we're getting all the tech stuff put together, and all the actors are starting to see what technical aspects are going to be put in, so it's really cool watching it all come together. You absolutely learn more as you go, and you get to see different aspects of the show that some people might not even think about, and as the assistant director I got to read a bunch of dramaturg notes on it and learn more about the time period and everything that went along with writing this show. I think they're going to find the set really interesting, because with the chaos walls, the red boards you can see in the back, it's something new that we were doing, and Mr. Kind had the idea, and it's really cool to see it come together. I think the audience will really like it.
After months of preparation and years of planning, on November 6th, Lake Orion Community Schools successfully passed its first school bond since 2002. With staff spending their after-hours time at the polls to be a resource for voters, and even students assisting after school, Election Day was a landmark moment for the district, securing the $160 million 10-year bond proposal. It was also a unique day for some LOHS students who voted for the first time, like Sam Parillo.
I've been researching, just trying to keep up on current news and events, and then so I was ready and informed to vote today.
The bond proposal passage was appreciated by Superintendent Marion Ginopolis, who sent out a message to the community.
I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank everyone for their support of the bond proposal that was successful in the election yesterday. It is as a result of all of your work and all of your support that it was successful. The benefit to this is to all of the students in Lake Orion, not only now, but well into the future. We are most appreciative of all of the work people did to make it successful, and for those who voted. Thank you so much.
In Lake Orion, the LOHS Band program holds a unique position with a variety of impact. The band members play virtually year-round, with training, performances, and competitions, each providing its own unique entertainment, given the circumstance. For many, the peak comes in early November at the MCBA State Finals, when the band gets to perform its show in about 15 minutes, competing for a state title. After thriving in competitions throughout the fall, the LOHS Band arrived early outside Detroit's Ford Field on November 3rd, and went through its warm-up in a nearby parking lot. All members knew the show cold by that point, but final prep was important. The band parents were on hand as well to help with the sets. As the band members walked into Ford Field to begin the show called It's All Relative, they had to prepare. During the elaborate show, the pieces moved in unison with a fabulous singing performance, as the crowd was engaged and thrilled. After the show, there was relief and excitement for their best performance of the year.
I think today was their best performance. I think they did a fantastic job. Considering all of the last couple of weeks have been hard. I mean, you guys know what the weather's been like. Yesterday they were rehearsing in really cold but really wet, really rainy, really on and off. It was really tough conditions. This morning we were out there at 7:30 in the morning with a mist coming down, freezing cold, and they did a great job. They worked really hard, and I think today was their best performance. Sometimes, especially when there's been such a long season, I think sometimes the energy can be, low because they're tired. I don't mean to say anything negative about students, but sometimes it's easy to kind of give up when the conditions are hard. And these guys have every excuse to give up because of how hard they worked, and they didn't. They fought through right to the end. And so I thought their energy was fantastic. And as a director, I'm really proud of that part for them. Next year's kind of what you don't know about. You know, I'm excited for the kids that are coming back because I think they're excited about what they just did. And part of this program is if you enter as a freshman, you don't really know exactly what you're getting into. You work hard, and all the older students say, guess what? You're going to get to play on Ford Field. It's going to be this amazing experience, and then they get to experience it. And I think some of them, they really kind of like marching band, and after doing this, now they love it. That's going to be a lot of the response. So I think it's exciting for me to think about what level of love of this activity is going to come back next year. We're going to be back next year. I'll guarantee we'll be in state finals next year.
I don't know, this section here, like it's my last year, so it's pretty cool. Putting a lot of effort there. They've been doing really well. How do you guys feel? Yeah, it was really good. I feel really good about it run. I mean, it's one of those things where like you don't think it's going to happen until it actually does. Like you just keep going, you're like, yeah, I'm just going to keep coming to rehearsal every day, and then all of a sudden it's state finals, and by the end of that day, you're done.
It's a dream come true. You know, I never thought I'd be here as a senior doing this, so I think it was really fun. No, I think it's a totally different feeling when you're really there and there's just people standing in front of you.
The Dragons again shined as one of the state's best programs, finishing 4th in the Division I flight, making 18 straight years as a top 10 band, including 11 years as a top 5 band. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for watching the November edition of Inside the Dragons. We look forward to sharing the December edition in just a few weeks. Thank you.
Inside the Dragons is produced by the Lake Orion Community Schools in partnership with Orion Neighborhood Television. For up-to-date news and information about the Lake Orion Schools, visit our website at lakeorionschools.org and watch us on Comcast Educational Access Channel 22 and AT&T UVerse Channel 99.